Hey guys, Original Boris here. Going to do a movie review on two movies that have gotten a lot of attention over the last year. I had already seen the first one, watched the second one last night. Pretty good, I must say. But those movies are The Human Centipede 1 and the sequel, The Human Centipede 2. Now the first Human Centipede, the very first time I ever heard about this movie was I actually went to go rent a movie at a Redbox, and I was looking for a horror movie. I wanted to watch one, but I remember reading about this when I was looking through the movies at the Redbox, and it looked interesting, but it wasn't really something that caught my attention, so I passed up on it. Didn't watch it. As time went by, I started hearing about it from people. People were telling me, "Hey, you gotta check this movie out." So I started looking more into it. Went online and read about it. Still didn't get too interested in it. I didn't think much about it. Then I started hearing more people, "Hey, you gotta watch The Human Centipede. It's really shocking." So I started watching videos, reviews on it, and everybody was saying that this movie was just from the videos that I seen, that this movie was shocking. It was a must see, and they'd never seen anything like it. So I had to get it, of course. But then I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it at no rental places, nowhere. I looked for it online. They wanted too much money for it. Finally, one day, I did find it at a local DVD place. Picked it up. I think I paid like 20 bucks for it. It was pretty expensive. Well, it wasn't cheap, but it was getting so much hype that I paid the money and got it anyway. But this is it right here, The Human Centipede. It's in the slipcase. Ended up watching it, and I must say I wasn't that impressed when I watched it. I mean, it was a pretty good movie, but I wasn't shocked. Like everybody was telling me, "You're gonna be shocked. It's disgusting. It's just a unbelievable movie." I heard that it was banned in some countries, but to me, I thought it was alright. I wasn't completely like blown away by it, but it was, you know, it was good. It's just about a doctor who he is famous because he used to separate conjoined twins. That's how he made lots of money. When he retires, he just becomes obsessed with creating his something new, a new creature that's he's coming up with in his head, a new species, and that species consists of taking humans and making like a human centipede. He ruins their kneecaps so they can't walk, and then he sews their mouths to each other's butts at the end. So you have one person on their knees with somebody else sewed to their butt from the mouth, and then somebody behind that person sewed to their butt. And so pretty interesting concept. I know there hadn't really been a movie like this before, but I wasn't extremely shocked by it. I just watched it, and you know, I was like, "Oh, that was pretty good." Then I put it away with my other DVD cases or DVD movies. Didn't really think much about it after that. So I wasn't like a really hardcore fan of it. It was just a good movie that I watched, and that was it. Didn't think anything else about it. There was some gross scenes in this, you know, like when they have to go to the bathroom. Obviously, they don't have nowhere to go because the person is sewed to their butts. So they have to go, and the other person ends up eating it, and that's how they get their nutrition, you can say. That's what the doctor's saying. One digestive system starts from the front of the centipede, goes all the way through the last person. That's what he has in mind. These people end up trying to escape, and it's at the end they pretty much. I'm not gonna give away the ending. Pretty interesting movie, like I just said. I pretty much just said what the movie was about. You'll have to watch it to know how it ends and what really goes on, because I'm not gonna give it away, because I'm sure there's people out there that haven't watched it yet. But pretty interesting movie. The Human Centipede came out in 2009. I didn't really hear about it till maybe the beginning of 2011. I think that's when it really started to take off. So, but it says right here it came out in 2009. So it took me a while to really hear about it. I think it took a while for it to become as successful as it did in the United States. So, The Human Centipede. Then I started hearing that there was a sequel was gonna come out, and the sequel actually really started to get my attention before it came out, only because I had already heard that it was banned in many countries before it even came out. And I wasn't really shocked by the first one as much as other people were, But the way they were describing the second one, that it was going to be even more shocking and it was already getting banned, I was really curious to watch it. So it came out. I was having a really hard time finding it, but I found it yesterday. I know it's been out for a while. It came out last year, 2011. That is the Human Centipede full sequence, the second one. This one's completely, it's not like a direct sequel to the first movie, but it does have to do with the first movie. What it says is the Human Centipede is actually just a film. This is what this one is about. But this guy has become so obsessed with the film that he wants to build his own centipede. He thinks it's real and that it can actually be done. And he's a lonely security guard who still lives at home with his mom. You know, it explains that he was abused and that's caused him to have some mental problems. But he decides, you know what, he's gonna start his own human centipede, and the movie gets right into the action. It doesn't hold back. It's not like slow paced. As soon as it starts, it's right into the movie. You know what's going on. You know what he has in mind, and he's obsessed with this film. So it just has to do with it. This guy, he loves the movie, so he becomes obsessed with it, and he starts. He's a security guard in a building, and he starts like kidnapping people that are going through the building. They're going through the parking lot, and he's slowly kidnapping them, and he's hiding them away in a warehouse until he has enough people. And then the first centipede, he only had 3 people, but this guy wants to have a 12-person centipede. He's actually got 12 people that he's gonna end up. He doesn't sew them. He does something else to them to attach them. So you'll have to see what he does. It's pretty intense. But you know what? Compared to the first one, which had so much hype and was so shocking as people said it was, even though it wasn't to me, this one, in my opinion, did live up to the hype. I thought this one was very shocking. There's a scene where he does something to the kneecaps that you know, to keep them from walking, just like what the doctor did in the first one. And I still have that image in my head. Like I was watching TV earlier and I had that, just suddenly had that image of the head of somebody doing that to my kneecaps. I don't know why, it just popped into my head. So got that from this movie. It's very interesting, very graphic. I can see how some people would be offended or shocked by the sequel. I can see how some people would be offended and shocked by this one, even though I wasn't. But this one is a lot worse than the first one as far as shock and how far they take it. So there's it's pretty intense, like I said. There's also a part where just like in the first one, they had to go to the bathroom, so they end up going and you know, the other person has to eat it. They do that with this one also, but it's a lot more intense. There is murder, rape, death. I mean, this movie, I can see why it was getting such a shock and so much attention. I'm not going to give away, you know, any spoilers, because this would be something that, you know, if people really want to watch these, then go ahead and watch them and you'll see what they're about. You know, I'll let you, you'll be shocked. Like I was when with this one. I wasn't like shocked, but it was like intense. Watching this was pretty intense. So I really enjoyed it. And you know, the guy that plays the only guy that's obsessed with this film, and he plays the bad guy in this one, he does a really good job of making you think he's a creepy guy. He really does look like a creepy guy. He did a pretty good job on that. But like I said, there's a lot of intense in this movie. A lot of nudity that you don't really see in normal movies. Almost like it's a XXX at some points, but pretty intense movie right there. I really don't know what else to say about this movie. Just watch it. So if you like a good horror shock type of movie, The Human Centipede would be it. The Human Centipede 2 would be it. So that's pretty much what I watched. The Human Centipede, The Human Centipede 2. They've been getting a lot of attention. If they make a third one, I don't know where they're going to go with it. These were pretty intense as it was. But it'd be pretty interesting to see where exactly they decide to take it. But that's what I got. Human Centipede. This started it all. And then the Human Centipede 2, completely different than the first one. Well, not completely different. It's not, like I said, it's not a direct sequel. It's just about a fan that's obsessed with this movie, and that's